When you're doing this step, when you cut with the back saw, you want to draw those little lines, if those help you, about 1/8 of an inch apart. You want to start in the center and work your way out by cutting. When you cut, you want to stop when you get to this line. So you're going to cut down, then bring it up. So put it in the vise like this. I saw some people putting it in the vise like this. This can be very wobbly and break your project. You don't want to do that. Put it in like this. Tighten it. Then cut on the lines and stop when you get to the pattern line. You make a lot of little cuts. If you don't cut right on the lines, that's fine. Get more. That way. And at the very end, you're hardly going to cut it all. And keep going. To get those off, you want to turn them to the center. And that will chip away all the cuts that you made. But it'll also give you a lot of chunks in there. So these are the chunks that you want to throw away. So when you do this, turn it toward the center. Then if you can't chip off the ends, you can cut a little bit that way, get the ends off. Or you can cut them off like this. So kind of have it at your side. So this is kind of a rough cut. It doesn't look very good. So then the next step is you want to get a file. The files that you don't want to use is the rasp. The rasp has big bumps on it that'll chip and break your wood. You can use these. When you get these out of the tool cabinet, make sure they're clean. If you don't clean them, they get gobbed up and it's hard to clean. In fact, that's probably stuck in there, so I'll try to get it out, but I think that's stuck in there. That's why you want to get it, keep it clean so it doesn't get clogged up. So clean both sides before you file, clean both sides after you file, so they're nice and clean when you're done. So you can file this, that'll get it kind of smooth. Then you can wrap your sandpaper around your file. Or if you have your sanding block, you can wrap it around your sanding block, and eventually, once you've sanded and filed that enough, then it looks nice and smooth. How to decide if you need a thick one or a thin one depends on how much wood you have here. So this one, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to file this so it looks nice and smooth. So you're going to put that in there, make sure it's down in your vise, and file. If the file's too big, try to find a skinnier one. Or if you don't, then you might want to use your sandpaper. So to get in there, if you can't get the files in, fold it and then go like this. At the bottom of your project, you have this little rounded. It's hard to make this into a rounded shape. So what you're going to do is there's a margarine tub of these. You're going to put this in your sandpaper and that will sand the bottom round. What you're trying to do is get rid of all the cuts. For the ends, what you want you want these rounded. So when you put this in the vise, how you get that rounded is with your sanding paper. You just want to sand it like this, and that will round the ends. You don't want to have pointed ends. Another thing that you want to sand is you don't want this to be pointed. You want this to be rounded. So round that the same way. Kind of have it like that, and you round it out. What I'm looking for is all the scratches are gone, the ends are rounded, and that is smooth. If that is done, then I'll say sand off all your pencil marks. You probably won't have much pencil marks, but sand off all the pencil marks on the side, and you might have already cut your name off. So if you can't see your name, that's good. Then you stamp your name.